Hello, everybody. Welcome back to It's the United Way. Joining me today, we have Rahul. But before that, we're going to have the transfer show. So we'll be kind of going through the important news and all that good stuff. But Rahul, how are you?
I'm fine, man. How are you?
I'm good. The transfer window's open, which hopefully it's an exciting one instead of another boring one, because we all know who runs Man United and how we roll. But me and Rahul, do you want to start us off, or?
Yeah, so I'll just start us off with the little news that's come out about Darwin Nunez. So it's come out from the Daily Express. So Darwin Nunez saga continues. His agent, George Mendes, will hold a meeting with United as they look to basically hijack the Nunez's 85 million move to Liverpool. I think this is. I wouldn't be surprised if United do it. It's possible. It depends on. It just depends on Darwin Nunez now. What he prefers. If his heart is set on Liverpool, I think he'd go there. But for me, I think I'd be happy if we just don't go anywhere near this deal. Again, as I said last time, it's not for footballing reasons. It's just that we're gonna lose 3/4 of our budget on a striker. We don't need we need strengthening in different positions right now. We don't need a striker at the moment.
To be honest with you, Rahul, I put up news last night about Darwin Nunez, and someone commented, "So Manchester United are going to hijack the deal." I said something along the lines of, "We can hijack the deal all we want. He wants Champions League football. He doesn't want to come to Man United." Liverpool. The thing is, we could offer Darwin Nunez everything, but Liverpool just have to say, Liverpool just have to say one thing, Rahul, and that's, we have Champions League football. And then he's like, "Oh, then I'll go there," because that's where the money is. Yeah. Even though, as I said, we could give Nunez loads of money, he will look at Champions League, because why wouldn't you? That's the thing. I reckon if we did have Champions League football, we could have had the Frenkie de Jong and Nunez deal done and all by now. You don't know. You don't know, Rahul.
But the problem is that if Ten Hag really wants Nunez and we don't deliver it to him, then he might feel let down, But I think he's a smart man, I know he knows about the budget, he probably have discussed everything before. So I think this is just media talk, probably just trying to, get some interest going into Nunez.
Yeah, but I think he's going to Liverpool, Rahul. As much as I'd love to sit here and say, we're going to get him, we're not going to get him, Rahul. I think everyone else knows he's going to Liverpool, and that's the truth, isn't it? He is going to Liverpool.
Yeah.
But again, listen, people could have different opinions to that. But honestly, Rahul, listen, I'd love Darwin Nunez, but how much was he worth as well? His budget was 100 million or something.
Well, right now he's quoted as 85 million pounds.
Yeah, so I think it's a good thing we didn't get him in the end.
But with the add-ons and probably signing on bonus and stuff, it could go up to
Yeah, and then we'd only have 20 million left, because 120 mil Man United have.
120. Yeah, 120 plus the sales.
That's it. Yeah. I was just gonna say, I don't think. I think he's going to Liverpool. It's a shame that we missed out on another good player and all, but it's Man United at the end of the day, and I couldn't expect anything more than him going to Liverpool. And to be honest with you, but then again, we need a striker. No matter what, we need a striker. Because Cavani's gone.
Martial we do need a striker, but then this deal is just not. It's not something that we should go for just because of the money,
That's it. 100 million, as you said, if you include all the bonuses. No, I think we'll go for someone else. And there's a striker I would love to get. I think he plays for Lille, whatever way you pronounce it. Jonathan David. David, tall, quick. That's all you need in a striker for me. But then it's got to be one of those summers where the Darwin Nunez deal could be done tonight or something like that, and then we'd be like, okay, then who do we go for now? I think Eric Ten Hag knows that. Listen, he's going to Liverpool, and that's the sad thing about not having Champions League football. You can't get the players you want.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have a bit of news. This came out yesterday that Manchester United have offered Barcelona 60 million fixed plus 20 million in variables for Frenkie de Jong. Frenkie de Jong, Rahul, can you see us getting him now? With obviously we're getting to a bit more news about him, but the more news you read, the more you think he's coming to United, or can you see it?
I think if there's no other club interested, we'll get De Jong. But if someone like a PSG, Bayern Munich, a big club in England or a bigger club in Italy come in, then they'd probably be ready to pay the fee, and they'd also offer Champions League football. So De Jong could just get persuaded that way. But for me, I feel that at this moment, just because of the links with Ten Hag and how highly Manchester United is rated at Ajax, I think De Jong will move to United at the end. People are saying there's just an 18 million pound difference between United and Barca, like in the deal.
Yeah.
So I think it will be sorted out soon. I think
we did
going
well.
to take time.
We did well because Sydney won like 100 million a few weeks back for Frenkie de Jong. So we've, they kind of lowered the price on them. And then Barcelona as well have bad financial situation, which comes in well for Man United to get a player like Frenkie de Jong. I mean, I did the news show on Thursday, and I said that I wouldn't want Frenkie. I said I don't think Man United should go for Frenkie de Jong, but I would love if we got him. Like, I'd love if we got him. Don't get me wrong. Again, we didn't get any news that it was going to be close. We were going to get him to the time, or the price went down. But the last couple of hours, the price is really, really.
I think the problem is it just stings a bit because half our budget's gone, on De Jong. So it just kind of stings a little bit. As we're a rebuilding club, we shouldn't be making these kind of signings. But I guess you need one or two players that Ten Hag could trust, eventually. So I think it should be a good signing.
Yeah, hopefully as well. But as you said, 120 million, then you take 60 million out of that. I mean, Jesus, where does that leave you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then if we're planning on getting a defender as well, and a striker, and maybe a winger, we're really gonna have to get rid of a few players, like Martial, for instance. You'd have to. If they're looking at to sell Wan-Bissaka, put him there. Dean Henderson could probably go somewhere. Supposedly Newcastle aren't interested in him, but and then Martial, as I said, could come back and then ship off somewhere else. Phil Jones could be leaving. Eric Boy could be leaving. What I'd love for Harry Maguire to leave, but that's not going to happen anytime soon, Rahul. As much as I'd love him to leave, pretty sure you'd be the same. But I mean, I reckon a good bit of money will come in, but not as much as we would like.
Yeah, I think after we sign De Jong, we'll struggle to sign even two more players after that.
Yeah, that's it.
Just because of our budget. I think we probably realistically need 170 million at least to sign 4 players, in total, including De Jong. But if they're relying on sales revenue, then that's not a good source, for money, because we don't know when these players are going to get sold. They might get sold at the end of the transfer window, at the deadline day. So then what are you going to do with that money? It's useless. So, I mean, that's why you have to make smart, investments. De Jong stings a bit, but I think in the long term it will pay off.
That's it. And then again, I mean, you still have McTominay and Fred. I know. Listen, we're not going to win a title next year, so it's not like we're getting them. Do you know what I mean? So And Liverpool supposedly, Rahul, have received a bid for Darwin Nunez, 80 million plus bonuses, and discussions ongoing on 15 to 20 million add-ons as well, and a 5-year deal. So, Man United in contact with the agent, but they're denying any meeting with Ten Hag. So, Liverpool's where he's going, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense because if you're going to sign Nunez, how are you going to sign Jong with 120 million as a budget? Like, it's either one or the other. Like, there's a lie somewhere or the other,
That's it.
You have to figure that out. Like,
and then if we're planning on getting Antony as well, Rahul,
yeah,
I really hope it's not them summers where we spend 2 players and they don't pay off, because we've had a lot of
those.
those.
I mean, it's like people are assuming our budget's like 500 million. Like, we are going to sign everyone.
Yeah. We always get that every year. Man United wanted him, then we don't get him, and then we end up having another bad season. But fingers crossed, we do get the players we're looking for. We do sell a few players to bring money in, but as we know with the Glazers, they just don't like spending money. Supposedly they do, but not Man United anyways. But Hill, do you want to move us on to another?
Yeah. So there's Sport Witness coming out with saying Van de Beek has offered himself to AS Roma. So I don't know how credible Sports Witness is, but I don't really believe this particular article, unless Ten Hag has had some kind of a talk with Van de Beek, which he obviously would have if he's decided to leave. But I just don't think that Van de Beek would leave. I think he's probably going to be happy at Ten Hag's back.
Yeah.
And Ten Hag knows the qualities of Van de Beek, right? He wouldn't use like a McTominay instead of Van de Beek.
Yeah,
so I don't trust this one.
Well, I mean, they are pretty reliable. Not the best source, but I wouldn't, to be honest with you, I wouldn't look too much into that. Like, he's staying. He's right. I mean, Ten Hag literally came out and said that Van de Beek is definitely in his plans for next season, so he's definitely staying.
Yeah.
Not sure whether it's transfer news, but it's partly transfer news. But Manchester United are already talking with Alejandro Garnacho over a new deal, but he will be at the club until 2025 regardless, due to the triggers with his scholarship agreement that extend on his birthday every year. I mean, don't know whether you've seen it, Rahul, and I literally totally ignored it. And it was that Juventus want to get Alejandro Garnacho.
I think, look, for Garnacho, I think he's not gonna play next season. So for him, it'd be best to go out on loan, but preferably to an English club, because he can get adapted to the Premier League more faster. Going to Juventus is good for his mentality. He can develop like that winner's attitude, but in terms of the league, the Italian league is slow, as you know. So I don't think a move to Juventus is good, if he's going out on loan. Obviously, a transfer is off the table for now. I don't think Manchester United would be willing to sell Garnacho. But for me, realistically, we should offload him.
Sorry, I just had to fix my light in there because it just kept getting darker. So, yeah, Garnacho for me, Rahul, has to say, would you, too soon maybe, but would you maybe include him into the first team next season, or give him another season or two with the youth squad?
You could include him maybe like in the Carabao Cup, something like that. But realistically, the way we are positioned right now, things like the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup are actually important to us right now, because that's the only sort of source of us getting a trophy. So even in the Carabao Cup, I don't really know if he's going to play. It depends on how Ten Hag sets his system up. Usually we do play with 2 or 3 youth team players, but For me, if I was Garnacho, I would be talking with United about a loan move for sure. I think his time in the youth has come to an end. I think he's past that level. He
Yeah,
needs a new challenge, I feel, and he for himself needs to challenge himself. You
yeah.
know.
That's the thing is about Garnacho, right? He is a good player. We've seen it,
Yeah.
especially in the youth cup final. He got 2 goals, two good. I know one was a penalty, but the second goal he got was brilliant. Like he's definitely going to be a brilliant player, but will he go on loan? Maybe. I think Eric Ten Hag will bring him on the pre-season tour, see how he plans out, and then he'll
I
decide.
think it all. I think him going out on loan again depends on Manchester United. If United say, because there's obviously going to be teams asking United to take Garnacho on loan. That's just realistically that's going to happen. But if United block all approaches, then Garnacho can't do anything. So for me, Garnacho has to push for this loan move, and United have to let him go because it's going to benefit him and United in the long run.
Yeah, spot on, spot on. And then people who will be watching the video, let us know in the comments what you would do with Garnacho. Would you include him into the first team next season? Would you send him out on loan or let him play his football at the youth team for another year or so? But Rahil, do you want to move us on to another bit of transfer news or?
Yeah, so there's these reports that are coming out of Brazil that Manchester United are continuing to try and sign Ajax's Antony. His representatives have traveled to negotiate with United. So the
Yep.
value of the transfer would be around 60 million euros. So could be around 50 to 48 million pounds.
Not bad,
Um,
is it?
uh, I think it could be a reliable source.
How was it again, the
Given
source?
I think it's goal. It's coming out of a Brazilian outlet.
I don't know much about
So
them, to be honest with you.
yeah. So, but the thing is, we've been linked to Anthony for so long. So it could be true. But 60 million euros. I mean, if we could get him for say 45 to 40 million pounds, I think that's not realistically um, a proper value. I think 50 is stop stretching it.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? But again, you can negotiate. You can easily negotiate. Um, he's a player I can see United getting. Just when is the question. But yeah, I mean, listen, Anthony, seeing 21 years, 21, 22 years of age, I think he is a young player. I actually have news about him as well that Man United will continue to try make progress in signing Anthony from Ajax. You already said that. The other bit of news is, um, well, yeah. So back to what you were saying about Anthony. Yeah, Anthony, he is a good player. We've seen that with Ajax. But to be honest, right, it kind of gets, don't know whether you've noticed it, but we're just signing players that used to play for Ajax. Frankie de Jong
Yeah.
could probably come to United. You might as well just, I don't know, just move all the Man United players to Ajax, and then we just move on from there. You know what I mean? We all support
No,
Ajax.
I think that's natural. It's we're obviously going to be linked to them. It's natural because of Ten Hag and media outlets. They're going to profit most out of this because they know that Manchester United fans would believe anything that they say if they link an Ajax player, and that's going to generate interest. So realistically, most of it's going to be fake. But we probably would sign, as I said, one player from Ajax, realistically, because they are the champions. They're not going to sell us everyone. Even selling us two players, unless those two players actually force a move out of the club, which I don't think will happen because they have that loyalty. So I think just one player, and I think it's realistically going to be Timber. So about Anthony, I don't know. It may happen. Anyone else is just media talk, I think.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And again, people who watching the video, let us know in the comments whether you would like Anthony at Man United or would you or would you not? And let us know about his price tag as well. Is it a bit too much for Man United to spend? Especially if we're looking at getting Frankie De Jong as well, Rahul. It'll definitely be it'd be a turn to 120 million to 20 million in a matter of days. It just will, Rahul. If you're planning on getting Frankie De Jong and a winger who are both 60 million.
Yeah, I mean, Antony is quoted at 60 million euros.
Yes.
So probably 50 million, 48
That'd
million
probably
pounds.
bring it to less than 20 million. Then brings it about 10 mil, 12 mil, something like that. 8 mil maybe.
Yeah.
It won't be a big transfer budget for long. It really is one or the other, isn't it? Though it really is. It's Frankie De Jong or Antony. Pick one. It is, isn't it? It really, really is. Unless Ajax are able to do a swap deal with, I don't know, Martial or whatever. I don't think we will.
Another thing is we've just skipped the CDM again. You know, we've been crying out for a CDM for 3 seasons, I think.
Yeah, we're still not getting one.
Yeah, and we're just you know, we have all these you know, we have De Jong, Timber, and all these great players thrown at our face. So we just forget about signing a CDM, and then later on in the season, we start complaining why we didn't sign a CDM. So, I mean, we should look at signing a CDM first. You know, if we're going to build a team.
I know, that's the thing. That's literally the thing. Like, as you say, we've been crying out for a defender including central midfielder for a long time. And we're getting a central midfielder, not a central defensive midfielder. We're not getting a DM. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go for Calvin Phillips. Throw him in there. Throw him in the mix. I know he played for Leeds and all, but it's better than having no defensive midfielder.
I think that the fear is for me. I think Fred is probably going to be asked to do that role, I think, next season.
That's it. And then McTominay on the bench.
With De Jong, I think Fred.
Unless De Jong can play defensive midfielder as well.
I think I'd love to see. I think if you're going to go with Fred and De Jong, that's a waste because Fred isn't a CDM. He's a box-to-box player. I'd rather see De Jong and Donny play. You know, at least they know each other, they understand each other, and that'd be more of a chemistry there.
Put De Jong DM.
Yeah, I mean, it could work either way. You know,
Does he play DM? I know Barcelona have Busquets.
He could play DM, but it's a waste. Ten Hag said it himself. It's a waste to play De Jong as a CDM because he can contribute so much to the attack. So as I said before in the tactical breakdown, Ten Hag system revolves around 2 central midfielders. Basically, they're just running around that midfield. You know, they they basically defend as a team and attack as a team. So it's a kind of a mixture. But having a proper CDM gives you a better dynamic, you know. And if we don't have a proper CDM at the club, we just try to fool ourselves with saying, you know, Fred, McTominay.
He's not though. Fred's, as you said, Fred is more of a box-to-box midfielder. And
McTominay is a box. Yeah, McTominay is a box-to-box as well.
So if you think of it, we haven't got any defensive midfielder at the club.
Unless we promote someone from the youth team, we don't really have anyone.
Probably no one there as well. They're probably all box-to-box.
Yeah.
You can't really rely on some poor 19, 18-year-old, 17-year-old to come up into the first team and play against big teams. It's just, Frankie De Jong, I mean, I reckon he can play defensive midfielder, but as you said there, what Antony Deal said, it's a waste playing De Jong in the defensive midfield position. He's more of a central midfielder. Do you know, I mean, even with Netherlands, not sure what he's been watching him, but he's brilliant for Holland. Brilliant.
That's what.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of DMs, I don't think we'll ever get him. If we're planning on getting him, you can say goodbye to any other transfer signings. But Man United also have interest in West Ham's Declan Rice, but the London club, 100 million plus valuation of the England international has prompted United to pursue De Jong. That is from Mark Ogden. Declan Rice, I mean, no, not worth that, Rahul. Just no.
But I think if Mark Ogden is saying it, he was the first one, if you remember, to break out that Ten Hag's joining United. It's a done deal. So if Mark Ogden is saying it, it's a reliable source. But I mean, there has to be a lie somewhere, because 120 million, whatever, for one player, then just goodbye to the season, I guess.
You can't you? You can expect her a boring season. Never mind talking about Garnacho letting him out on loan.
Yeah.
We'll end up keeping him and trying to play him as a defensive midfielder for next season or so. It's just, you just know what's going to come to that.
If you're going to sign
if Man United had that way, it would.
Yeah. Just sign someone like 20-30 million pound,
Just players out
someone
there.
who can do that role.
Calvin
I think Sangaria.
Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips. There you go. Calvin Phillips, get him in there. Get a few free agents. We were planning on looking at Christian Eriksen.
Yeah.
Experience. Yeah, I know he's 30, 31. No, I know you had the heart attack last season in the Euros, but he's still a good player after what happened to him.
Yeah, it's an absolute no-brainer, because he's not going to cost you any money. Probably, Brentford, I think, would probably ask for a huge sell-on clause. They probably put that in. But that's not going to hurt United. I think his wages is about 120K per week. So he might negotiate to 150 maybe. I think it's a no-brainer. He's not going to affect our wage bill, and he's going to offer us so much because of what he can basically contribute to Ten Hag, and Ten Hag can use him as a role model. As I said, for the younger generations as well.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not sure whether you see that little timer running out there, Rahul.
Yeah.
I suppose we'll end it here, and obviously this be going up on YouTube. But what we can do is, if you're watching the video, everyone, because this will go out on YouTube later on today, hopefully, check part 2, which post link in the description. So we'll be back in a few minutes.